guys, welcome back to another video. Today, I don't know if you've watched the previous videos on this, but today I'm making the base for my gnome. I just have this circle piece of wood that I got on Amazon. I have used it previously under a screen print, but I don't need it for anything else. So I'm gonna go ahead and make this the base for my gnome. If I don't like how it turns out, then I'll try something else, but I wanted to try this. I've been seeing a lot of videos on these. I have covered my desk. I really don't need to on this desk because anybody who's watched my videos knows there's resin all over this desk. But if you're gonna do it, make sure that you protect the area that you're working in. I've also got it on the floor as well. Today we're using epoxy resin from Turquoise Resin. It's a 1:1 ratio. I also have alcohol inks if I decide to use them, not sure yet. The glitters that I've been using in the other parts of this project. So I have a silver and I have a turquoise, and then I have my my nail powder. Again, I will find out what this is and I'll put all of this in the link below. I have just some office trash bags, or you can use some heavy duty garbage bags. Like I said, with this desk is mainly used for resin, and there's resin all over it, so I'm not too concerned. But if I was at a different desk or at another table, I would definitely probably use some of those big black or green trash bags. I made a border around the wood with some painter's tape. Oh yeah, this glitter too. Again, all of this will be linked below. Anything that I got off Amazon, I will put my affiliate link down there. With it being an affiliate link, I do make a tiny little profit if you click on that link and purchase it. So just so you're aware. I also have this spatula for spreading, also from Amazon. And then a baby wipe. And my rubbing alcohol. So let's go ahead and start measuring. I'm gonna start small because I don't know how much this is gonna take. So I'm gonna start small. So go ahead and open up the resin, which I should have done probably prior to filming, just so I could get these out. I always forget that they have these little plastic things in there, and I can never get them out. Aha, these will work. Maybe, maybe not. Let's see. Okay. Am I the only one who ever has a problem getting these out? I feel like they should have a pull tab or something, but these don't. All right, I'm gonna go off camera, get these out, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, believe it or not, it came right out as soon as I shut the camera off, and the other part came right out. So I don't know why I was struggling so bad. But anyways, we're using the Turquoise Resin epoxy resin, and I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna do 50 milliliters of the hardener and 50 millimeters of the resin. So that'll get us up to 100 milliliters. So I'm gonna start with the hardener. 50 milliliters. There we go. Oops. Drippy everywhere. And again, this is not sponsored by Turquoise Resin. The only thing I have is the affiliate links for the products below. I just happen to have the Let's resin today, so that's what we're using. And then 50 milliliters of the resin. And I do give my resin a hot water bath. I don't have any of those fancy fancy tools like degassers and, you know, things like that. So I just stick them in a tub of warm water for about 20 minutes or so until they feel warm. Because if you do pour with cold resin, it can cause bubbles, it can cause milkiness, it can, you know. So try to warm up your resin when you're working with it, and hopefully you won't run into any issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and stir this resin. This one, I did not read, but as you all know, I usually stir for about 5 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do about 5 minutes. I will speed it up for the stirring. Make sure you stir slowly, and then as soon as it's been 5 minutes, I will come back and we will move to the next step. Okay, so while I was stirring, I remembered also in the other one that I made, I did add some mica powders. I have my luster black and my crystal white mica powders that came in a huge set, which again I will also link below. Let me go ahead and move these bottles out of the way. All right. I'm just gonna let this sit for just a minute, trying to work out some of those bubbles. I do wish I had a degasser, but I don't. You can also, I had put some hot glue around the edge, but I ended up taking that off, so it's a little scratched, but it's okay. I also cleaned it with alcohol and a baby wipe. So pretty clean, but that's, the circle is there because I was going to do like a macrame border around it, but I opted not to do that. So what it's going to be is, when it's all put together, it'll be our gnome, and then it will be the pockets around the gnome. So there's a total of 5 different pockets, and you can use that for pen storage or brush storage, or, you know, whatever you want to use it for. It'll be cute once it's put together. I promise you'll see. I'm working on the last cup for it right now, but I wanted to kind of go through this process with you and see what goes into making these. So this is the nail powder. I'm just going to scoop a little bit out, and we'll just add that right into the resin. And I'm using the nail powder because I like it. It's kind of a pearlescent blue. Like I said, the links will be below, but I'm just going to use a little bit of that. But one thing I have noticed, if you don't close these right, they will spill everywhere. So just keep your eye out for that. And then I'm also going to add some of this turquoise glitter. Basically, it's just eyeing it to how much you think you'll want. You can always add more later. You can't take away. So, then some silver glitter. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and give that a little bit of a mix. And then I'm going to add in my opalescent glitter. So let's go ahead and get that mixed up. I just want it to have a bit of a sparkle. So we'll get that mixed in. So it's a little opalescent, a little sparkle. I like it. I think it's really pretty, but I don't want it to be see-through. So I'm gonna be adding more to it. But then I'm gonna use this opalescent glitter as well. So a couple different glitters in here. And then we'll give that a mix. And then the project is turquoise and gray. So I'm going to add, that is so pretty. That is just a very pretty color. Maybe I should do one just like that. But I'm gonna add a little bit of the luster black mica powder. And some of this crystal white mica powder. Okay. And then we're gonna go ahead and mix that together. For the tray I did for this project, I did them in separate cups and then mixed them. This one, I'm just gonna do them all together. Okay, and then I still see that beautiful blue in there. Hope you can see it too. You might not be able to see it on the camera, but there is still a really nice turquoise blue in there. But like I said, if there's not, and you know, whatever you're doing, you can always add more. You just can't take it away. Okay, so I've got that. I just want to make it a little bit more gray and not so much the dark black. So I'm going to use some of my white ink. I'm going to use quite a bit. So I know you're like, whoa. It comes out fast because the top got cut too low, but I want it to be more of a gray blue than a black, or gray turquoise than a black and turquoise. So more is fine. But that's the only time I use that white is when I don't need to worry, you know, a couple drops here, a couple drops there, because it doesn't do a couple drops. It pours out. Okay, I do have another white, but since I like using that one, I just use that one. All right, so it's more of a gray and turquoise now, which is what we want. Now, I've never done this before, so this is another new one for me. Like I said, I have seen a couple videos on it, but I have never done it. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and wipe off our stick. There's glitter everywhere. All right, so I'm just gonna start in the middle and just give it a slow pour. And we may need to do a couple rounds of this. I'm not really sure how much we're gonna need, but I just want to pour it around. And from what I've seen, people use their hands to get it to the edges. I might end up doing that, but I did bring my little spatula. So I'm gonna start pulling with the spatula first. And I just want to bring it out closer to the edges. So we did what, with both of them mixed together, it was 100 milliliters. We may need more. But let's see how far we can get with just this. And again, it may be easier if I just use my hands. But I'm dainty. Just kidding. Anybody who knows me knows that's funny. So, okay. Get that all around. Basically just taking it to the edge, to the border edge. Okay. All right, so I definitely need more. I don't think I need a ton more. So off camera, I'm just gonna mix probably another 100 milliliters, so 50 and 50 of the hardener and the resin. And then I'll get it all mixed up just like we did this one. And then I'll be back. All right, so I've gone ahead and mixed another batch, 50-50. I might save it for bloopers because I noticed I forgot to turn my camera off, but I'm not gonna add it in this video, but I spilled everything. There's a huge mess right here. Glitter everywhere, the nail powder everywhere, the mica powder everywhere. But I'm gonna go ahead and pour this next batch in. And this time I'm just gonna get a little closer to the edges. This one is a little bit more of the turquoise because I spilled it. That's okay. Okay, we're just gonna get that in. Let's get our spatula and we'll start moving that around a bit. I want to make sure we get it to the edge. I was also thinking maybe I would knit an I-cord or something and put it around the edge of the wood. We'll see. We'll see if I get that far. I want to try to have this completed by tomorrow. So, you know, maybe I shouldn't add more than I had already planned, but we'll see what happens. Okay, just getting that all around the edge. And I need to turn it. Oh, it is coming through somewhere. Hopefully it doesn't run everywhere. I'm gonna have to do another little border over this border, but I I just want to get it to the edge. Try to see where it's coming out from. I don't know. Okay. Maybe right there. Let's see. Grab some more. Yeah. Grab some more tape. If I can get it with the gloves on. Oh, maybe it's the other way. I'm rushing myself and then... Okay. Put this out. And pick this up. Yep, that's exactly where it's coming out from, or at least one of the places. So I'll try to get that sealed a little better. But it came out on the plastic, hence the reason we have the plastic. Okay. I'm gonna add a little more here. I don't think it needs to be super thick, but I'd like it to look nice. So now that I've got my problem area sealed back up, and it's not gonna leak out all over the plastic, I'm just gonna add a little bit more. Well, I guess I'm gonna add the rest of it. There we go. Perfect. Oh, that looks nice. Okay. So I was going back and forth with whether I wanted to add the alcohol inks. Now for this one, I did 200 milliliters total of the resin. So 100 milliliters A, 100 milliliters B. Just gonna clean off my spatula and my gloves because I'm dripping it everywhere. Good thing I have the plastic on the floor too. Okay, so it should be pretty well sealed all around now. So it shouldn't be coming out anywhere. And I want to go ahead and just spray it with a little alcohol for any bubbles. I don't see too many. And I want to give it a little bit of alcohol ink. So this is a metallic silver. Shake it up really well. And I'm just gonna drop that around. Okay. Ooh, ooh. Yeah. Guess that happens when you shake the bottle and it's open, huh? Okay. And then I'm looking for... I know I have a turquoise in here somewhere. Might be a green. I don't know. I really need to do these better. I don't see the turquoise, but I do have this just metallic green, which will be fine because it'll mix. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and just drop that green in. Just random. And then because I didn't have the turquoise, at least not in this box, it might be in my other box of alcohol ink, but I'm just gonna put in some blue over the green. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay. And I'm just going to give those a little bit of a swirl. I always think I swirl it too soon, but I want to get this mixed in so it looks more like turquoise than green and blue. Okay. Give it a turn, make sure everything looks good from every side. And it still just looks very blue, huh? Well, most of that will be covered with the actual gnome. So I think it's okay. I might go ahead and put a little more green on there. Let's actually do that. There's a lot of green, but whatever. We're gonna get that mixed in a little bit. I think we are getting more of a turquoise now. I know it looks kind of a mess right now, but it'll be nice when it's done. I hope. I hope. Watch me come and check it tomorrow and it's all over the desk and the floor, everywhere. That would not surprise me. Not in the least. It's just the way my luck goes sometimes, as you know. If you've been watching my channel for a while. I just have the best luck ever. Yeah. Yeah, right. All right. I'm gonna use, I don't think this one's open yet. Is it? No. Okay, there's one that's open already. Is that one? No, that's the silver. I should have, oh, here it is. I should have had them all out already, but I'm going to go ahead and put a few drops of the white in. doing the white, but I also want to do a little bit more of the silver. Ooh, that was a little much. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and let it sit for a bit, and then I'm gonna give it a swirl, and we will check back on this in about 12 to 24 hours and see where we are at. Oh, there's a little more left in here after. I'll just get that on there too. Why not? We're gonna use it all. Use it all. Waste not, want not. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna let this sit probably for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, and then I'll give it a swirl, and then we will come back tomorrow and see what it looks like. And we will also, oh, well, some of the alcohol got in there, but that's fine. I was gonna spray it anyways for bubbles. I'm not using my lighter on this because of the tape on the edge and that alcohol ink, etc. So I'll give it a swirl in about 10 minutes, and then we'll see what it looks like in about 12 to 24 hours, or for you guys watching in just a few minutes, but it is actually going to be about 24 hours for me. So I will see you when we're ready to pull the tape off and see what we have made. Don't worry, I'll pull this tape out of there too after I give it the second swirl. So we'll see you guys tomorrow, or in a few minutes, but I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Hi guys, welcome back. It's the next day and it's sunny, not as cloudy as it was yesterday, so I don't need all those extra lights on, so hopefully you can see. But here is our base that we were doing. I did take some of this tape off last night because it's where it was leaking through, and it did give it kind of a wonky edge, but that's okay. We can fix all of that. I just wanted to wait for you guys before I took off the rest of the tape. So let's go ahead and do that. See, it didn't leak too bad. We do have some on the edge, but that can be trimmed. And then we're just gonna take the rest of the tape off. So I just have the rest of the tape that I need to remove, and then some trimming and some sanding that I need to do. And then I'll just fix up the bottom a little bit. Won't take too long to do, but this is our base that we made. And I like it. I like it a whole lot. And so this base is for a project that I've done, and like I said, I've got some cleanup to do around the edges. I understand that, but look how pretty that turned out. It's just gorgeous. And it is for this little gnome that I made. It's a gnome organizer, and he's just gonna sit on the base. And then there is another piece that I made that's gonna go in front of him. But like I said, it's just for my little gnome organizer. I did not write the pattern for this. This is from Gnome Planet on Etsy. I will put a link in the description below, but isn't he just adorable? All right, well, that's it for this video. We just needed to see the result of how it came out. In another video, you'll see how it all comes together. So I hope you'll join me for that. And again, it's just gorgeous. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Have a great day.